Hey everyone, I'm Terry G. If you can take a second, can you please subscribe? Take another second and hit that like button. What I want to talk about in this video is change. What is the easiest way to change old habits? Old bad habits. What's the easiest way? 12-step programs, they call them character defects. And if you're not in the program, you may just call them bad behaviors or problems that you have, issues, whatever it is. How do you change those reactions, how you feel about yourself? Well, one way of doing it, you go to a 12-step program, you can go to Smart Recovery Program, you can go to therapy, you can go to counseling, you can talk to a priest, talk to your best friend. There's all those things you can do. But one thing that I do that has been most effective, especially the ones that they won't get unstuck, they're the sticky ones. Me, I have anger problems. I've always had anger problems. Right? But they're not, I don't freak out on people. So, don't get all excited that Terry G's a, crazy person, because I'm not. I should say I had anger problems, but now I'm a lot better. Okay. So don't worry about it. I'm not going around freaking out on people, and especially I don't freak out on my wife. That's for sure. I would never be married. I've been married. This is my third time. If I was my old Terry, I wouldn't be married. Believe me, because the old Terry was heavily into divorce and running off on his brides all the time, his wives all the time. So it's not that. One of the things that I want to share with you that I think is a very simple way of changing a habit. It really is. A lot of us, when we get involved with a character defect or a behavior that we don't feel is suitable or is not working for us, we always seem to focus on where it came from. Okay, like my anger came from childhood, that kind of thing. Or you think about a bad relationship and that's where it came from. And when we think like that, it's good to know where it came from. But when we think like that, we are not really solving the problem. We know where it came from, okay? It came, like my issues, most of them came from my childhood. I know that. I know my anger did. Came from my childhood and my drinking and all that kind of crazy stuff. But how do I change the problem? How do I change it? I can go to therapy. I can do all that. And I've done all that. But there's one thing that helps me the most when it comes to my character defects or behaviors that are not working for me right now. And I'm going to share that with you right now. And you're going to be blown away by how easy this is. But you need to change the way we look at it. The way we think about it has to change. Okay, and let me break it down for you. I'll just give you an example. I have anger issues, or I had anger issues. What kept me locked, what kept me stuck in that anger is going to counseling. I'm not saying don't go to counseling, because I think everybody should go to counseling. Going to counseling and talking about the problem all the time. Talking about why I am like this, why I have this character defect, why is this, why do I have these behaviors, why do I feel like that? All these things I talk about is the problem. And that's what happens to a lot of us in situations that we don't like. We revert the default to the problem because that's the way we're taught. To talk about the problem, right? Oh yeah, the reason I'm angry is because my parents belted me around for 5 or 6 years when I was little. That's why I'm having the problem. If you had my childhood, you'd be exactly the same. And yes, they probably would be exactly the same, but that's the problem. That's the problem. So what I think would help me the most was, yes, this stuff happened. Yes, this is the way I behave. This is the way I think. This is the way I feel. But all that stuff is in the past, but it's the problem. And when I revert back to why I'm like this, I'm not living in the solution to the problem or the solution to the character defect. I'm not living in that. So if I constantly think that I'm just angry and that's just the way it's going to be, and I get angry and I revert back to why I'm angry and I go to therapy and I talk about what I'm angry, but I don't live in the solution, if I don't start practicing other ways of doing it. And the way I've done it is just like this, okay? I've worked on myself a great deal, so this might not be as easy as I let on to be. Most of our problems when it comes to character defects or when it comes to changing behaviors that don't suit us is in the front end, not in the back end. It's in the front end. It's not the past that constantly creates the problem. It's the present time that's creating the problem. It's not back there. It's here. You know what I mean? It's not the caboose that kills you in the train. It's the engine. It's the first part of the train, right? So when it came to my anger, when it came to problems in my life that were causing me difficulties, I had to start rethinking it and living in the solution. And that is the way I did it. In the front end. I stopped working on the back end because I knew what the problem was, but I didn't know what the solution was. And the solution is in the present, right now, as I'm talking to you, is now. What can I do with my behavior, my thinking, my emotions? What can I do when the situation comes up to stop acting like that? And one of the things I do, I don't obsess on the problem. I obsess on the solution. What is the solution to the problem? What is that? I feel anger? Yeah, I feel anger. I'm like normal people. And I feel like getting mad at somebody, maybe yelling, telling them to F off or whatever. That doesn't work for me. It makes me feel depressed, makes me feel guilty, makes me feel shameful. I start changing my thinking, the way I think. Because I can feel anxious, uneasy. I know where that's going. So I think a little different. I veer off that negative path, living in the problem, going to the default, why I'm like that. And for whatever reason, I just default off it, go somewhere else, and it diffuses it. Because we think, feel, react. And people who live in the problem think they feel first, and then they react. You don't. If you're living in the problem all the time, and you don't understand what I'm saying, you think, feel, react. Okay? Dysfunctional people think they just feel it and that's the truth. It's not. Every feeling that we feel, it's the way we're interpreting it. It goes to our brain first and then down. So if you change your thinking, change your feelings, and you change your behavior. And your behavior is your life. Your behavior is what other people see. They don't see the way you think or feel. They see the way you act and behave. And that's the facts of it. I can talk to you a million hours about how messed up I was years ago. I can tell you that. I can go on and on about it. Okay? But the solution to the problem is living in the solution, is taking steps to make it easier for yourself, or you feel better about yourself in situations that used to trigger those character defects or those negative behaviors that you used to have. Okay? It really works. I'm not saying don't go to a counselor. I think everybody deserves to go to counseling, and don't listen to some guy named Terry G on a YouTube channel. But I'm going to tell you, if you're stuck in that problem, you're going to the default thinking. You're going to the default feelings. You're going to the default behavior. You're not living in the solution. You're living in the problem. Because if you're doing a behavior or you're doing something that harms you and other people around you, you're living in the problem. We're not designed to hurt other people. We're not designed to go around and cause difficulties to other people because we can't live with ourselves. We're not designed to do that. We're designed to look after ourselves. And because of that, we can be gentle and kind to other people. But we need to change our thinking. Bill W. said it in the big book. Most of the alcoholics' problems, or most of people's problems, is in their thinking. That real estate, about 10 inches or 8 inches, I got a big head, about 8 inches between this, the way we think. Change the way you think, The way you feel will change, the way you behave will change, and your life will change. It really will. Guarantee it. Write it down, whatever you want. Pause, rethink. Don't worry about why you're thinking like that or why you're behaving like that. Just change. Change it. And you'll see. You won't react and you'll feel better about yourself because those old behaviors or that anger, whatever it is, didn't get a hold of you and you feel like shit because that behavior came out. Okay? That's it, folks. My name is Terry G. This is an alcohol-free life channel where we learn to live sober one day at a time. If you can take a second, please subscribe. Take another second and hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Do me a favor, leave a comment below too, okay? Ciao for now. God bless. Remember, sobriety is freedom. 100% it's freedom, okay? Ciao for now.